green light at the top of one of the mountains. Yeah, I heard that.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Monday night, I had something happen out here while I'm sitting right here that it was pretty over the top. It was definitely a first time. It was surreal, very confusing, and I'm not even exactly sure what happened. And to be honest with you, it's almost one of those things that I almost don't even want to share because of how unbelievable it is. But then again, there's a reason why I record at all times, or try to, for this exact reason, for these exact events. Back when we started this group, we had pretty much one rule, and we had a couple rules. But the number one rule was we were going to talk about whatever happened, no matter what it was. It didn't matter whether we understood it or not. If we ran into something paranormal, even though I don't like dealing with that kind of stuff, we were going to report that. It didn't matter how it made us look. It didn't matter how it made us feel, whether it confused us, whether we had answers or not. We were going to share everything. And that is because I've always thought that not giving all the information or holding things back is the same as lying. That's not really important. What's important is, as over the top as this is, and as unbelievable as it is, I'm going to share it. I've got to share it. And the event that I'm talking about that happened while I'm sitting right here happened on Monday. Saturday, I went back behind the house. I made a new gifting area, okay? I made a new little shelf. I just nailed it into the side of the tree. And I have been talking to another guy in Georgia that's had these creatures on his property for years. He's been feeding them, has a whole huge gifting thing going on. He said they like Nutty Buddies. So I put 2 Nutty Buddies out there on the shelf. One was closed, one was open. I opened one up. That bird you're hearing right now, that's the bird. The low nesting bird that when they're around, that starts chirping. So we'll see. Anyway, I've got that going right now, so we'll see. So I stood there. I put one of the Nutty Buddies on the shelf. I had the other one that was open. I took a little piece off of one and sat there and ate it, hoping maybe that they're watching and they'll see that I'm not poisoning things. You know, I don't know if they know about poison, but anyway, just that it was safe. I went back out there Sunday, and both had been moved. One had just been moved on the shelf itself. The other one was on the ground, like maybe 3 feet away behind a log. The only thing that I noticed on the package itself, there wasn't anything on the package itself. The only thing I noticed on the bar itself is, you know how they're made. They're like little wafer cookies and then peanut butter, wafer cookie, peanut butter, right? Well, there was one sliver of the wafer cookie that was removed. Everything else was pretty much the way I left it, and there were no bite marks around it. That doesn't mean anything at all. We have no idea what touched it, okay? It's this whole gifting thing. When I gift, it's not to set up some kind of station to where I can get something on video. This is literally just something personal. Hey, I'm leaving you something. I'm hoping to get something in return. It's also a peace offering. That's why I'm doing it. I don't know if it was them or not. It could have been 100 other animals. You know, this is just the chain of events. I get to Monday night. I go out in the woods Monday night. I haven't had activity since, I don't know, the last video I put out. I don't even know how long it's been now. It's had to have been at least around 10 days, maybe 2 weeks-ish. But I went out of the woods like I do. I was out there for 10, 15 minutes. I got a phone call. It was my father. He's got to have surgery. So I'm like, all right, I need to go in and talk to my wife. I got off the phone. I came inside. I talked to her. I got done, and I had about 10 minutes before I needed to get ready to go to bed, right? I had to get up and go to work the next day. So I came out here, and I sat down where I'm at right now. And the body camera was where it is. Well, not exactly. I think it was a little bit over here. But I had that there. I'm watching a video on Instagram. The first thing that happens, though, is... where's Fat Kitty? I don't know. Anyway, we've got 2 outdoor cats. The little kitten that just showed up a couple weeks ago. We took it in, or we've been feeding it on the porch. But anyway, it's the other one, the fat cat that I've got. She was laying right here on top of the stairs. And she jumped up and ran away just like that, which I've never seen her do before, okay? She's a big fat cat, and she's kind of lazy. She does play, gets rats and stuff or whatever. I've never seen her do that. And I'm like, what? I thought maybe she was going after the little kitten, but the little kitten was up. I've got a little house made for her with a heat lamp because it got cold out here the other day. I thought maybe that was it. About a minute later, I'm sitting here, and I could not have picked any worse video than what I was watching. But I'm sitting here watching a video on Instagram, and it's kind of loud, unfortunately. What ends up happening, or what I think happens, is there is a throw that I thought came from that direction, and an object hit that cooler, possibly, is what I thought happened. I didn't see it. I just heard it. And unfortunately, because the video is so loud, I didn't even really hear it that well. After it happens, I'm like, I'm already excited because it's a really good throw, if that's what it was. It was very obvious there was the sound of leaves, and it was very obvious that something hit on the porch, right? I get up, I go out in the yard, I go over the wood line, I've got the body camera, I'm looking around, I hear one little like break, and that's it, nothing else happens. Gets my better judgment. I'm like, yeah, I'll stay up a little later and download this video. I took the body camera to my office, downloaded it on the computer, and what I heard on that video is it's just insane. It's not a throw. From what I can tell, it actually sounds like something running on the deck itself, but that's not possible because I'm up here. Then there is the sound of like it's got a stick and it's beating on not only wood, but like leaves. It hit something with, I'm assuming it's a stick. It hits something that I think's plastic. And then it throws this, you can hear the whipping sound that I've actually gotten recorded before when I've had activity when they've done wood knocks, where they go whoosh and whack. You can hear it's like you take a switch and just go whoosh. This thing was, I think, in one of 2 places, and this is why this is nuts. It's either under my deck or right there at the end of my deck. Let's walk over there. I'm going to show you exactly where I think it probably was, judging by the sound. Now, the camera, the way it's facing, it almost gets all the way to the end of the bushes and the deck, but not quite. It's just canted just a little too much. And dude, it's one of these things, like the bad luck with video is just, it's very, very frustrating. But all in all, just to have them be that close and in the yard and possibly under the deck or at the end of the deck, I've heard stuff like that before, but they've never done this. Like, this is close. It's lit up just like it is right now. The lights are all on, and I'm sitting here. We're going to walk over there. I'm going to show you what I think happened first. Then you can take a look at the video, and then we're going to go into the audio. And one of the funny things about the audio is I'm watching some video on, I think, Instagram. It is Instagram. that's got like a politician talking about other politicians having sex out of marriage. So when we listen to this video or this audio, you're going to get to hear the word sex probably however many times I play it, unfortunately, because it's like right in the middle of the good part. So, it is what it is. But let's take a look of where I think this thing was. This is kind of a video inside of a video. I am at the end of my deck doing a walkthrough of what I believe happened on Monday night. And as I'm doing it, there is something in the woods behind me. And I don't realize it because I'm talking. As I'm hitting on the bushes and talking and walking through everything that's going on, there is movement, a wood knock, and what sounds like 3 other knocks behind me. All right, I'm at the end of my deck. My best guess is it was either underneath it, like right around here somewhere, and it was hitting right in there, or probably more likely it was right here at the very end. And it kind of sounds like, and then you've got the sound of a stick hitting bushes. So, and then the whipping sound of a stick, and then something hits over there. But that's, I spent yesterday afternoon under this porch looking for stuff. I found impressions in some potting soil right there. There's no telling what it could be. It could have been my kids. It could have been one of the animals. There's just no way to know. I didn't find anything super obvious.
Because, and they may in fact not even be guilty of a crime. They may just be very embarrassed that they were having extramarital sex.
Please tell me that little video.
Because, and they may in fact not even be guilty of a crime. They may just be very embarrassed that they were having extramarital sex.
Please tell me that little video.
Alright, first we're just going to play through it.
Because, and they may in fact not even be guilty of a crime. They may just be very embarrassed that they were having extramarital sex.
Please tell me that little video.
I don't know if you caught that or not, but after all this commotion, and I say, please tell me I caught that on video, there's a little noise here, and what sounds to me like something huffing. Now, I don't know exactly what that is, but it happens after I talk, and it just gets stranger and stranger and stranger. Now, another insane part about this is the speed at which it's doing all this. It's like a professional drummer. The amount of things that it hits consecutively is just nuts.
In fact, not even be guilty of a crime. They may just be very embarrassed that they were having extramarital sex.
Please tell me that little video.
really do think that's him. I don't know what else it would be. It sounds very close.
They may just be very embarrassed that they were having extramarital sex.
So you got all this banging around, right? Let's do it one more time.
They may just be very embarrassed that they were having extramarital sex.
You got all this banging around, then it hits either the railing or the cooler, whatever it hits. And then you hear, it sounds like the object that it's using to hit with hits the ground, but then there's the whipping sound of something being thrown. Does this thing have sticks in both of its hands, or is one a rock? I don't know what's going on.
Very embarrassed that they were having extramarital sex. Extramarital.
That's the whipping noise. Unfortunately, this dude's talking at the same time. This guy really messed up my video.
Extramarital. Extramarital.
I just put out a video showing the best vocals I've ever recorded, and if this right here is a vocal, considering the circumstances, this tops them all. This dude's close. I don't know, maybe he's under the deck. I just don't know.
They may just be very embarrassed that they were having extramarital sex.
Please tell me that was on video.
Now, one trick I learned years ago with vocals is to turn the tempo way down. When you turn down the speed of everything, you can really tell, what's going on. Especially, I've had vocals with, sounds like syllables. Y'all quit. And with this one, you can really tell, like, the insanity of how many times it hits different objects with its stick is what it sounds like. And then also with it slowed down, it definitely sounds like a vocal.
They may just be very embarrassed that they were having extramarital.
Please tell me that was on video.
I have the unfortunate task of scouring through all of this. The dogs like to dig holes under here, unfortunately. But I'm going to go through all of this and see if I can't find anything abnormal. The only thing I found so far is this is potting soil from a pot, a hanging pot that fell. And I don't know if you can see this or not, but see the bigger indentation there? It's almost like a hand and a thumb. I'm gonna do a 3D scan. And then there's another impression right here going this way. I think maybe a foot. There are no, it doesn't look like it's from a shoe or a boot. And I don't know how old it is. Let's see if I can do this right here. So I don't know. It's all just guesswork as of right now. I'm going to show you guys all the video from the gifting station. I'm actually going out there right now to check it out. Now, don't read too much into this, okay? I did an entire documentary on how I do know that there is a spiritual side to our reality, because I've experienced it before. But I have not seen proof that these creatures fit in that category. But I have, in that documentary I showed some of the weird things that have happened, and that I keep an open mind, and I will be the first one to tell everyone if I actually, come to the conclusion that these things are spiritual or interdimensional or whatever else. But so far, I have not experienced anything like that, okay? It's all been separate. But I can tell you this. One of the weirder things that I've experienced over the years is the timing and, the luck that these creatures seem to have. Especially when it comes to trying to get them on video. Especially the day of our sightings. Our luck was crap that day. Just like with this. If that camera would have been turned maybe a quarter of an inch, if that, to the left, and was looking all the way down to the end of the porch, because it's turned just enough to where you can't see to the end of the bushes and you can't see to the end of the porch, And what are the odds of that? It's just that they picked the one spot. But then again, I guess it makes sense that if they wanted to get close, then that would be the spot to do it from. But it just gets really frustrating. There's probably not anything to it, except for just bad luck. And that's why I try to record at all times. And why I really, the goal eventually is to be able to afford to have enough equipment to record 360 degrees, in thermal, preferably. But let's go check things out over at the gifting spot, and I appreciate it, guys. And you're going to have to forgive me. I'm probably going to be talking about this for a while. This was over the top. This is in my front yard while I'm sitting on the porch with all the lights on. And that's how comfortable they've gotten, which I see it as a good thing, as long as they just do what they're doing and don't, do anything crazy. That gives me an opportunity. Hopefully their luck will run out. Real quick, before we move on to the gifting spot stuff. That all happened Monday, right? Well, today's Friday. I just got back from hunting with Lloyd. Apparently I have better luck with Sasquatch than I do deer. This is the only one that I saw, and it was about an hour before the sun came up. Good to go, but I still had a good time. And I used that time to do a lot of thinking, obviously. That's what one does when you're sitting in a deer stand. Couple things. Number one, while I was down at the end of the porch doing my little recreation, there was something in the woods. Of course, I mentioned the bird before all that started, the low nesting bird, and that's usually what happens. A lot of times before I have activity around the perimeter of my property, there's going to be a low nesting bird that starts chirping or alerting. That's what happened as I'm making that video. And that was in the middle of me making the video for this, explaining what happened Monday. So they were still here. I am going to make a secondary video going through all of that stuff that happened while I'm explaining what happened on Monday. The body camera video. After I go and pick it up and I walk, and that's another thing, my dumb butt is walking out there going to the wood line, and there's a pretty good chance that he's under here. Maybe, who knows? I don't know. Maybe he's already gone. But as I'm walking out, and I'm bringing this up because you guys always catch stuff like this. When I'm first going down the porch out that direction, there is something that kind of looks like eye shine. Then when I get over here facing the wood line, there's another spot that kind of looks like eye shine. But that one, I think odds are it's probably my neighbor's got little driveway lights, and usually I just ignore that over there, usually. In fact, 99.9% of the time, anytime you see something that looks like eye shine, it's not. Okay, it's just the way it is. And usually I can find what it is. The only thing weird about this one is as I'm walking, I'm going downhill, and then the light looks like it goes at an angle and then starts going down. That's not how perspective works usually. So I'm really going to have to go over that one. That might be something. Okay, I'll just have to go through the video. It might not be. I'm bringing it up now before I go through it because I know you guys have probably already seen it and you're like, hey, eye shine. Maybe. Most likely not, but I will be checking it out. Okay, and I usually check out anything you guys say, hey, I found this at this time. I go and check it out. The last thing I want to mention is, like, I get it. I get how hard it is to believe that some dude on the internet says he's got Sasquatch underneath his porch. I get it. That's, like I said, that's why I even debated. If we didn't have that rule, I wouldn't be showing this. As cool as it is, as excited as I was to get it, I probably wouldn't be showing this, you know. I get it. But I want you to consider that vocal, or what sounds like a huff. In order for that body camera that's sitting right here to pick it up, and for me to not hear it, I'm sitting, an arm's length away or more away from the camera, and it picks it up, but I don't hear it. Which means it's close. Which means I think it's probably under the porch. Now, even Lloyd, when I told him this, he said, yeah, I can't wait to see it. But let me ask you, are you sure it wasn't like maybe an owl was chasing something and flew under the porch and grabbed a rat and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I almost wish it was, but that's not what it sounds like. It's obvious intentional banging. And then the whipping of the stick sound where it's actually throwing the stick, and then you got that huff. It is what it is. This happened, and hell, I hope it happens again. Let's see where that's been my whole goal. My entire purpose is to see how far this will go. So that one has been just moved a little bit, I guess. And the other one is over here. And I opened it and then took a piece off of it. The part that's broken. And then you got the other side, looks like it's been munched on a little bit. And I can't tell because it's not bright enough out here, but there's no teeth marks in the plastic itself. Doesn't look like it. My eyes aren't that good, but I don't see anything up there right now. No, I see one of them. right, let's go check it out. Alright, something got the other one. The one that was open. And this one's still here.
From you slipped away, no more words for you. Take it back, no matter what you do. The truth, breathe it out, face your boundaries. Our mission trudge through the mud of time. This truth, this truth, this truth casts shadows in the dark. Shadows in the dark. I'm too far in and too far gone. The only way in is through in the darkness I see. What you've taken from me, something I had all along. The truth, just breathe the truth I cast. Shadows is me. Breathe it out, make your battle marks. Our mission trudge through the mud of time. This truth, this truth, this truth casts shadows in the dark. Shadows in the dark. Shadows in the dark. Shadows in the dark. Shadows in the dark.